Hello, my friend. I'm glad you're here again, taking this small moment to pause. Before we begin, take a deep breath in and slowly let it out. Let your shoulders drop, your thoughts loosen, and your attention come back to this moment. This time is for you, a quiet return to yourself. Today's reflection asks something many of us have felt but rarely name. Why do we sometimes feel disconnected from ourselves, as if watching life from a distance instead of living it? There are days when everything looks the same. You wake, work, speak, move, yet something inside feels dimmed. You go through the motions, but they no longer feel like yours. You smile because it's expected, listen because you should, answer because it's easier, but somewhere between your body and your thoughts, a thin layer of glass has formed. You can see your life, but you can't quite feel it. That distance can appear suddenly or build slowly. Sometimes it follows loss or burnout. Sometimes it comes quietly from too much noise and too little rest. You find yourself saying things like, "I don't feel like myself lately," but can't explain why. You may even do things that used to bring joy, walking by the sea, cooking, laughing with friends, and still feel strangely absent. So why does this happen? Why do we drift away from our own center? Part of it, I think, is protection. When life overwhelms us, the mind creates distance as a form of safety, like stepping back from a flame that's too bright. It dulls our senses so we don't have to feel the full weight of what's happening. It's not weakness, it's instinct. The mind says, "I'll hold this for you until it's safe to come back." Let me tell you a story. There was a woman who worked as a nurse in a busy emergency ward. Every day she faced crisis after crisis. She told me that one day, while comforting a patient, she suddenly felt as though she was watching the scene from above. Her voice, her hands, her own body moving, but somehow she wasn't inside it. It frightened her. But later, her therapist explained, "Your mind stepped away to protect your heart." That distance wasn't failure, it was survival. We all do this in different ways. When life asks too much, we start to live from the surface. We smile instead of feel. We plan instead of pause. We keep it together instead of letting anything fall apart. And little by little, we drift. But disconnection isn't only born from pain. Sometimes it grows from speed, from moving faster than our soul can follow. Think about how easily we fill our days. Endless screens, constant messages, the quiet pressure to be on all the time. Our attention is pulled in 100 directions, and somewhere in that noise, our inner voice grows faint. Then one day, we realize we haven't heard ourselves in a long while. A man once told me about this moment. He was successful, respected, always busy. But one evening he came home, sat in his car, and couldn't bring himself to get out. He said, "It felt like my life was happening to someone else." He wasn't unhappy exactly, just missing from his own story. It wasn't until he began walking every morning without his phone, just walking, breathing, listening to the wind, that he started to feel real again. He said, "I didn't know silence could sound like coming home." That's the thing about disconnection. It can't be solved by doing more. You can't think your way back to yourself. You have to slow down enough to feel the ground again, literally. Touch, breathe, notice. The body is often the doorway home when the mind has wandered too far. Sometimes, though, we stay disconnected because connection itself feels risky. To truly return to yourself, you have to meet whatever's waiting there. Grief, shame, fatigue, longing, truth. That's not easy. So we stay half present. We live from habit, from distraction, from the comfort of numbness. But numbness is never neutral. It costs something, our aliveness. Let's pause here for a moment. Think of a time when you felt most you. Maybe it was in nature, standing by the ocean, wind touching your skin, something in you expanding. Maybe it was when you were creating something, painting, building, cooking, completely absorbed, time dissolving. Maybe it was while listening to someone who saw you clearly and you didn't need to perform. Those moments are proof that yourself isn't lost, only waiting. There's a story I once heard about a musician who stopped playing for years. She said music had become performance, not expression. One night, during a power outage, she found an old guitar and began to play in the candlelight, not for anyone, just for herself. She said, "For the first time in years, I felt real again, like my own voice had come back." Sometimes, reconnection isn't a grand awakening. It's one honest moment with no audience. To reconnect, you don't need a plan. You need permission. Permission to pause, to not know, to be still long enough to listen to what you've been avoiding. Ask yourself, what part of me have I been neglecting? The tired part, the curious part, the part that still believes in beauty. They're all still there, quietly waiting for your attention. You might begin simply. Take 5 minutes each day without distraction. No phone, no conversation, no agenda. Just sit and ask, what do I feel right now? At first, you might hear nothing but static. That's okay. Keep listening. Stillness has its own language. And when you start to feel again, even if what you feel is sadness, that's connection returning. It means your heart is waking up. The fog begins to lift, and you remember what it feels like to inhabit your own life again. The truth is, everyone disconnects sometimes. It's not a flaw. It's part of being human. What matters is remembering the way back, and the path back is rarely loud. It's small and tender, a breath, a walk, a single honest conversation. You are not broken for drifting away. You are only being invited to return. Return to your senses. Return to your breath. Return to the rhythm that belongs only to you. And when you do, when that thin glass between you and the world finally melts, you'll notice something gentle. Life hasn't been waiting impatiently. It's been holding a place for you, quietly, until you were ready to come home. Thank you for being here, for giving yourself this moment to reflect. Stay gentle, stay curious, and stay kind. And if this question spoke to you, continue your journey with us on Yarven's Questions. More stories, more reflections, and more quiet truths are waiting for you. Take care, my friend. Until next time.